so.
Okay.
When we first started coming in 2007, 2008 to Crossroads, there was something pulling on me. It was just different. It's not the entertainment value of Crossroads. It's not the church that you need to be worshiping. It's God. I always confused God with organized religion. My wife was pregnant with twins. We went in for a routine checkup. And during that visit, the doctors realized that Kendall was not growing as fast as her brother Foster, that there had been basically no growth from the week or 2 weeks beforehand. And they told us very quickly, it's time to do the C-section. The C-section started, and they pulled Foster out. Kendall, less than a minute later, was extracted. She was gray, she was lifeless, and they resuscitated her in front of us. Later that day, they said, well, she's basically got liver failure, she has no platelets, we're not sure what's going on. This was on a Thursday. You probably won't see her make it through the night. And this went on for 2 months. We had an MRI done, and they had diagnosed 3 forms of brain damage. Normally kids with these conditions, they don't walk, they don't talk, they have trouble even holding up their heads. But they may be able to tell you eventually that they love you in their own dysfunctional way. And we're so broken at this point that we don't know how we're gonna do this. I can remember sitting there thinking, if this is the best life Kendall's gonna have, because she's been screaming now for 24 hours straight, 48 hours straight, and that's not an exaggeration. That is literally, she would cry nonstop. And the only time you wouldn't hear her crying is the short, brief intervals where she'd pass out from fatigue. If this is the best life this kid's gonna have, then why doesn't God take her? And I would actually pray for that at times. It broke us. I mean, the strain of me trying to work, and despite how good my workplace is, wore me out. Having to take care of the oldest child, having 2 kids that are sick that we just have to keep alive, knowing that my father's done and I want to be with him, and then having a marriage that's falling apart because we don't have time to even talk to each other, let alone just process the grief that we're going through. After a year of being in emergency mode, of just trying to keep kids alive and to see a father die, our marriage had tanked. The Wolfpack series and being so broken from what had happened to us, it seemed to have finally just knocked down any walls, any inhibitions that I had about seeking God. Wolfpack led to me going to this thing called man camp. Not sure what was in the secret sauce, but there's a point in it after the second day where Brian Tone says, if you've never declared your life for Christ, put up your hand and repeat after me. And I can just remember looking around kind of like a gawker, like, I wonder who's gonna put their hands up. And my left hand shot up in the air. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and there were some creative, colorful terms that came out in my mind of why is your arm up in the air? And then people that are now directly in my community started slapping their hands on my back. And it was an overwhelming feeling. I don't even really remember what I said, but I walked out of that barn in Indiana and I verbally started vomiting up everything that had been holding my wife and I back. That night I walked into my house after man camp, and my wife has since told me that there was something physically different about me. I looked younger, I looked happy. It was the first time I didn't look like I had the weight of the world resting on my shoulder, my neck, my head. She actually said it was the first time she'd seen me smile truly since the birth of the twins. And you know, I'm trying to explain to her, I came to Christ this weekend, and she's overjoyed with this. But that night is the first night that I actually sat down, held Kendall, and received her trying to tell me she loved me. I mean, it was the first time where I understood this kid's gonna forgive me for being broken, that this kid is gonna grow up to be whoever she's gonna be, and it's gonna be awesome. This year, I've come to Christ. I've seen miraculous healing of my daughter. My wife and I's marriage, because of all these things, have become stronger than they ever have been. Does it mean it's perfect? No. But in May, we actually got baptized together with our oldest daughter. The twins have been baptized this year, and I just keep seeing more and more things where God and the Spirit are moving us to be a part of His community. I'm Scott, and I'm in.